Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, happy Monday to you all. Hopefully, you had a good weekend. We have got a whole list of songs to check out today, and we're going to start off with a bit of an exciting one. We're jumping back on with the SM Classics train one time. There was an SM Classics song on OST Saturday just this past weekend with Yimisiwan and Winter of Espa, and now we get another proper SM Classics release, and this one is for a song that's actually quite recent. I feel like when it comes to SM Classic releases, the closest in terms of time frame we've had from the original release to the SM Classics remake was Feel My Rhythm, but now SM Classics have gone and done an orchestral version of NCT 2023's Golden Age. Of course, this song very much has a strong and very close to true sample of the Sonata Pathétique, which is a very good time. It's, I think, incorporated very well. One of the best incorporations of classical music in pop music in recent times. And I'm very excited to see what they've got for us today. So let's check it out one time. DJ, roll the intro. I wonder how they're gonna. I do wonder how they're gonna change this one because, well, I mean, Golden Age, like I mentioned before, has a very strong sample of the Sonata Pathétique, and even with Feel My Rhythm was kind of the similar case, but when the song originally already has a pretty strong orchestral influence on it, there's only so much you can do with it. And if you look at the recent ones they've done, Shiny, Sherlock, SNSD, Into the New World, NCT Dreams, Hello Future, these are all pretty standard pop songs. So I'm curious to see what they do with this. But that's enough waffling for me. Let's get into it. This is also just a very good song in general. Very reminiscent of Beautiful from 21. Usually we'd have Doyoung vocalizing here on the original. Oh, the way they've reworked this first rap verse is actually really cool. I like that they're keeping that main top line the same, and true to the original, but they're changing the background so much. The golden age, Oh, I like the jazzy take on the second verse. Kind of getting Dusty Garden Galaxy vibes from this verse now. From Super Mario Galaxy. Okay. Oh. Oh, they're getting super dramatic with it. Let it ring, let it ring, let it ring! That was great. That was great. Shout out the instrumentalists on this, man. Knocked it out of the park as always. Oh. It's great. It's really, really just great. The thing is, I knew this was going to be a pretty good, just like rearrangement without even like having listened to a single note of it, just because of what the original source material is like. Golden Age is an absolutely gorgeous song with already heavy string and classical instrumental roots in it. Not just of the Pathétique, but the kind of contrast you get in the original from the really kind of crunchy, aggressive, rhythmic NCT, the really smooth vocal flourish EDM, and like the two halves that you get in Golden Age, it kind of sets itself up for a really kind of explorative remake in a way. Like, especially in the verses where it does go heavy into the rap style. Having a pop song that has almost little to no classical influence whatsoever really kind of lets the SM Classics guys go off the rails a little bit and really go crazy with it. And with this, I actually quite like the way they did the rap verses on it, especially. They kept the busyness of the original rap verses and kept it pretty true to what the feeling of the original was, very busy, very aggressive, very punchy. But they kept it in that orchestral style that SM Classics do really well. And the way they tie into the really smooth, the Pathétiques sections, it didn't feel out of place. And with these like SM Classic remakes, there is always going to be a hint of worry where if it isn't traditional classical, how closely can they get it to the really classical sections of the song? And for me, this felt perfect. And especially with the different kind of genres they took on the second verse, like the way it goes a little jazzy in the second verse. Oh, I never would have thought of that second rap verse as being jazzy, but I think it works so well. That's also me being very biased towards jazz as a genre, but oh. And then, of course, the Pathétique, that's their bread and butter at this point. Give a classical orchestra a classical piece, and they are going to just smash. They're going to smash it. And this was great. This was great. This was exactly what I wanted from an orchestral remake of Golden Age. And in fact, I almost wish it was even more flamboyant than this in a way, which is actually saying something considering how orchestrally like flamboyant this already is. But for me, like Golden Age, especially in that bridge with Doyoung and Tail, goes off vocally, right? I wish we had like a more prominent soloist vocal part in the orchestral version, but then again, orchestral arrangements, it's not how it usually works. You don't really get like a standout solo member, especially with how kind of big that bridge is. You won't get a solo part. That's just not how orchestral arrangements work. You get a section, say, first violin playing fortissimo, the rest of the orchestra is playing like mezzo forte or forte. It's not that big of a grade change in between the two, so I can understand that. I'm actually kind of surprised at the number of SM Classic stuff we've gotten this year, because what we had Into the New World, which I believe was a Soul Fill piece, not an SM, just a purely SM Classics piece. So Into the New World, Hello Future, Sherlock, and now we've got Golden Age. I almost want to say at this rate, we're going to get another one before the end of the year, and I think that would be really cool. But the question is, what group do they do it with? I'd be really curious. I'm really curious to see if we get another one. I mean, the thing is, if we do get another one, I'm not going to complain because SM Classics are one of my favorite like project things that SM do. I genuinely have no clue what direction they could go now. Oh, but that is it for me today. I very much enjoyed it. Hopefully you did as well, but that is it. Thank you all for watching along with me. One last request from me today. Let's work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world. Whether it be, checking with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, or even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness that may brighten up someone else's day to day. And know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life, for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I'll always be a friend, ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.